Hey guys, today I want to do a video about how to find help. That seems to be a really common question, and I know I had the same question when I started this journey about 7 years ago. My first inkling that something went wrong, 2015, take you back. My wife developed an emotional relationship with somebody online and moved to Arizona. And I had an emotional and mental collapse, went into a deep depression. I knew I needed to get help. I had no idea where to go. At this point, had let a lot of things in my life go. At this point, I was homeless. And I went to the food stamp office in the county where I was living at the time. And they got me on emergency food stamps. And I asked them, I was like, listen, I'm homeless and I need help. Like, I'm in a deep depression. I don't know what to do, where to go. And they sent me across the street, and it was the Office of Mental Health. And they handed me a stack of paperwork. And honestly, I took the paperwork and I threw it in the trash on my way out the door because I just could not be bothered to fill out the paperwork. I just wanted help. I didn't want to have to go through the bureaucracy. And I was in such a deep depression that I just could not even be bothered to fill out the paperwork to get help. And so I just went back to my tent and used. And that was my solution for my issues that day. And little did I know that that would become the solution to my problems every day for the next 7 years. And I went a long time without trying to find help. I was in and out of the hospital various times. I was in and out of the emergency psych center in Syracuse a couple of times. And it didn't, they let me go. Because they would just say, oh, well, it's just alcohol-induced psychosis. There's nothing really wrong with you. Meanwhile, when I was sober, I would have extreme depressions and extreme manic episodes. And when I was in college, that was really useful, especially for staying up and writing papers. But as time went on, it became more and more, I would say, it went from being inconvenient to being almost incapacitating, to where I wouldn't be able to function day to day. And I just, again, didn't know where to go. Meanwhile, I'm a student in the health department at the college. I'm learning how to help people. I'm a human services major. I'm learning how to help people. I'm working at a group home. I'm working with kids. I'm able to sort of keep my day-to-day life together. Still don't know where to go. And it took me, I don't know how many visits to a hospital to finally get, basically, I happened to know the right people from work that I was able to get help, the right help, eventually. It took me a long time, though. But I think that also highlights a problem in that most people don't know where to go. And I think in my particular instance, because I used in an isolated setting and it's alcohol, and most people growing up, at least in my experience from where I grew up, drinking, everybody does it for any kind of reason. So there's no reason to get help for it. And so I just thought, well, I'm just a giant fuck up. And I didn't think that I deserved to get help at one point. And I acted on that. And, thank God I'm still here. But it got dark. And I just happened to run into somebody at work one day who said, listen, you should try Credo in Lowville. I went there and they helped me. And I kept that information in the back of my head. I unfortunately ended up overdosing on benzodiazepines and alcohol, survived that, ended up in the hospital for 2 weeks. And as soon as I got out of the hospital, I immediately went to Credo. I stayed sober for 8 months and then I relapsed. And I used again up until this past December. And then I've been sober since December after I went to detox and rehab again. But the thing is that it shouldn't take 7 years to get help. It shouldn't take 7 years for people to get help. Please, if you need help, please call 211. That's the best resource that you have at your disposal, is calling 211. They'll be able to direct you to whatever help is available in your area. And I live in a rural area and I am able to find services. And I know that the cities that are closest to me, Utica, Watertown, Rome, have more robust services. So things are getting better. But please, 211. I know it's some work, especially if you're still using. Please keep trying, keep fighting, keep it up. All right, guys, I'll see you again.